Bob Jeter continues to put out new music and has a lot of material to share. He recently was in New York where he cut a live cover of Unchain My Heart. For the last several years, he has taken a break from tours and has spent a lot of time writing songs as well as refurbishing some old ones that have never been released. He's also doing A&R work on the side and podcasting his new show, Bob's Blues and the News. Bob is collaborating with new people and should have a Post Malone collaboration coming out soon.
Did I do it before?
You should be.
Okay.
You got a right to love.
Bill, is that you?
That's me.
It really does good back.
We're gonna bury that.
You got a right to love. You got a right to love.
I think it's just right. You know, I listened to some Joe Cocker and Pink Floyd to kind of just get on the right wavelength.
So we're excited to have you on the show, and welcome to the Mental Margarita Show. Bob Jeter and Company is with us today. We're going to go into a little bit of your background, your music, and your travels, which there have been many. So welcome to the show. How are you tonight, Bob?
Pretty good, Jersey. Nice to have. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Well, we're excited to introduce you to Las Vegas, and recently one of your singles just debuted on the Second Opinion Sports Show, which airs on the CW in Eastern North Carolina, The Gravy Train, and that was really exciting to share that with the East Coast.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that tune. I did it with a bunch of great guys, great players, great producer. We put that together right before COVID, actually, so that goes back a couple of years. But yeah, I really like that tune. It's a great tune. Positive tune. Yeah.
It is positive, and we need more of that today because
amen.
we have enough of the other, and there's no time for any of that.
I agree I'm with you 100%. 100%.
Get on it, children. Get on it now. Don't wanna sound ungrateful. Don't wanna seem unkind. But there's some things been going down that just turn my head around. I know you know what I mean. Don't wanna get complicated. Don't like to mince my words. But when you take more than you need, well, they used to call it greed. Now Get on it, children. Get on it now. Get on it, children. Get on it now.
You're hailing from Richmond, Virginia, where you're originally from.
Yeah, I was born in Richmond, Virginia. I stayed there growing up, and then when I was about 20, I left, and I went to people said, "Oh, you do music, you should go to California." But instead of going to California, I went the other way. I went to Europe, and finally, I mean, a long story, but I did meet my wife there. I met my wife in Paris. So, but I lived in Europe for about 8 years, on and off, mainly in Paris. But I've been all over in that part of the world.
That
Lived
you
in London.
have.
Mhm.
And this music bug, you started performing in high school. Was music something you always had a love for? How did
Yeah,
it all come about?
yeah. I mean, I always had a passion for it. I mean, I've been around the block a couple of times, so I was, getting interested in the late '60s and '70s when all that good music was coming out. So, and I, you had a lot of friends who played music, and I started singing before I even picked up the guitar. And back then, I was doing like an R&B kind of gig, old Motown stuff we were doing, all that kind of stuff. So I, did that locally with a lot of bands in my area, and was pretty successful with it. And then when I went to Europe, I got into a different vibe altogether. So more, chilled vibe, more folk rock, that kind of thing. Neil Young, Bob Dylan inspired, that kind of stuff, where you could go around with your guitar, acoustic guitar, and play anywhere. I'd busk. I go into small clubs. I traveled, Germany and England and all over, doing that kind of stuff. Coming up the country. I'm leaving the city. I gotta get away. I was in New York. I was singing this song. Well, I'm going up a country, baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah, I'm going up a country, baby, don't you wanna go? Going to a place never been before. Well, I'm going, where the water tastes like wine, mighty fine wine. Yeah, I'm going, where the water tastes like wine. Jump in the water, stay drunk all the time.
Now you were a history major, and that's what actually took you that direction, right?
That's right. Yeah, because once I got to Europe, I have a BA in history, so I didn't study music. I learned music more or less on my own, but it was my passion. But I also enjoyed studying history. And when I got to Europe, that's probably why I stayed when I first got over there, because it was like opening a history book. Everything came alive, and it was so different from what we have here in the States, because it's got a lot more history to it. So I lived in London for about a year, and then I went to France and traveled around, and so that's why I was interested. In fact, the first place I went from Richmond was Moscow. I went to Russia. I had a Russian professor, and I'd never been out of Richmond, Virginia. And the first place I went was Moscow. So that was a big change.
A very big change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on the way back, you made a pit stop in London, ended up working in a pub, and
That's
then
right.
that
Yeah.
kind of began that whole living abroad part of your life, and
That's right.
the music and the busking and all of that. So
Yeah.
sounds like it was so much fun. The characters you met, now you had some near misses with meeting different producers and music, and a
Right.
near miss with Decca Records via Swedish Warlock. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, I hooked up with a bunch of Swedish guys, and we formed a little group, and it got a little spooky. I don't want to get into all the details, but these guys were into Aleister Crowley, which is the dark side of things. But anyway, so
You didn't want to be on their bad side. That's for
yeah,
sure.
I'm with the angels now, but at one time, you go through hell before you get to heaven, right? So, and maybe that's a good thing I didn't sign with Decca Records at that time, because who knows, what influences I would have been under at that. And that was an early stage. I was just learning the craft, basically. So I'm glad I didn't sign with them at that time. But I met a lot of interesting people. I met producers over there. I met there's a guy over there in France, similar to like Dick Clark. If you remember Dick Clark back in the day, he was like the French Dick Clark. So I hooked up with him. I met Johnny Hallyday, which is a big rock star in France, and I tried to sell him a couple of tunes. Nothing really transpired monetarily, but it was a good experience. So so I did rub shoulders with certain people over there when I was in France, and so I got married, and I did other things too. I started teaching English as well to generate some money.
For the Berlitz Company, which has been a household name for years. You didn't travel without your Berlitz companion with you.
There you go. I don't even know if they're still around, but they were a big name at one time.
I had a set of cassette tapes, Italian and German.
Is that right?
So when I did my traveling, I had my Berlitz book with me. Definitely.
Yeah. So it's a good company. So I enjoyed teaching. So, so I've done a little bit of everything. Yeah.
So you picked up the family, came back to the Richmond area, and started a business with your son. Is that right?
Yeah, I started working with. We started a little finance business, so I do that on the side as well. And we started a little group, so we call our band Jeter and the Jets. So you can go out there on Spotify right now and pick up some of the stuff. That's some of the early stuff I did. Hey, Paul, come on in, man. We're jamming. Yeah, come on in, Paul. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. We've been playing, and I think we sounded pretty good. I'm thinking about doing an album.
How are we going to do an album?
Look, it's easy. You play a tune, you put it on the internet, people watch it, they like it, and they contribute a little bit. It's easy.
There's a lot of different ways to raise money online for awesome projects.
Yeah, what's your problem?
Why would anyone give us money?
Because, dude, we can do this.
She told me this now. Your loving give me such a thrill. Your loving don't pay my bills. I want money. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. I'll give me some long green, baby. Yeah, be able to go out there. Yeah, buy you some new dancing shoes. Yeah, then she told me again, "Oh, give me money. Oh, give me money. Yeah, some long green, baby. That's what I mean, baby. That's what I want. That's
All right.
All righty.
Good work, everybody.
It was fun. Oh, the sun's coming out.
I wish I could do that on every rainy day. Just play the guitar a little bit and
Yeah.
out comes the sun.
Yeah, you get into it. Well, you see it.
Some of it sounds still pretty good. I still like the songs under Jeter and the Jets, and I still release stuff under that brand. BobJeter is I did with Kenny Kirby. Basically, I cut an EP with him. And Kenny Kirby is an interesting guy. He's played. I think he started playing with Sammy Davis Jr. Then he played with Sly and the Family Stone. Then he played with Van Morrison. So he's played with all. And he had connections with Whitney Houston and her songwriter. So he had a lot of experience, and he had a lot of contacts with A-list players. So that helped when I did my EP, Long for the Ride.
And
So,
you know, over the decades, we've had the best teachers because the best music has already has been written, and
Yeah.
you know what an inspiration that is.
Oh yeah, you learn
They-
from the past. I mean, like I study
Mhm.
history, right? So, in fact, I'm thinking about doing something on YouTube, maybe sort of like a history of rock and roll, where I'd get on with the guitar and play as tunes as well. Just to go through the history of rock and roll is so rich. You know, so many stories there.
Came around the other side of the river deep. Came from the mountain where they could not put their feet. And the mountain was lifted way up over their heads. And a good book was given as the sky turned red.
You know.
Now you have a podcast, Bob's Blues in the News.
Yeah, comment to
Tell us
politics.
about that.
Okay, like I said, I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, I got interested because I'm a history major. Once you're a history major, I mean, you could either take it further and go and be a lawyer or into politics. It seems that's the route you take once you study history. And so people say, why do you post stuff about politics? I said, well, it's part of history. You know what I mean? You're living history, and we live in such a unusual historical, some people even say biblical age right now, everything where the world is, that I just got, involved with politics only as a musician, as an artist. So I tried to find a way to blend the two interests, and I started the podcast, Bob's Blues in the News, where I'll come on with one of my tunes and then, talk about current events and stuff like that.
One Tuesday morning, sky was crystal clear. Who would have known they were drawing near? Flying toward the towers, planes with men from the east brought destruction to our land and abruptly killed our peace. Some say it was our fault because the least in the world was wrong. Some say that the CIA knew of it all along. But here's the truth of it. The hunter knocked down our door. You can read your history. How great nations have fallen before. On 9/11, nearly 3,000 souls lost their lives. Smoke in the eyes, well, it covered up the New York street and sky. Yeah, the day was surreal, such a horrific scene. Don't forget how the ties were blown to smithereens. Don't forget 9/11 and remember what your freedom means. What's your freedom mean?
That's what songwriters are, though. They're storytellers. You know,
Yeah.
it's a different broadcast because we're
Yeah.
speaking truths,
Yeah.
unbiased, our hearts, our experiences, you know, from life. So,
Right.
you
Definitely.
know,
Yeah. I definitely. I
who
mean,
better
not.
to talk about what's going on than a songwriter?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're the poets of our ages. I mean, if I can humbly say. But yeah, and I try to be socially aware on some of my songs. Sometimes it's just a song about a girl and a boy, but it could be more profound. It could be something about what's happening now. I mean, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, they were very politically orientated. So a lot of groups in the past have been sort of aware of what's going on around them and not just do love songs about their old boyfriends. Not to take anything away from Taylor Swift. She's a talent, but yeah.
Oh, you know, she's in the engagement phase
Yeah,
now.
that's the
So,
big story. She's getting engaged to the football jock. So good for her.
right.
Yeah.
We saw that coming
Some
though.
people
So,
say she's going to become more conservative. I don't know. We'll see.
wow, she's been America's good girl for a while. So,
Yeah, yeah.
we
She's
wish them
good.
all the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Beatles write all these kind of weird lyrics. I think they were taking acid. I don't know. LSD. Oh, that was. Here come on, slap top people, grooving up slowly. You got Jojo Apple, he won. Holy roller, he got hair down, low his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please.
Now you also do a little A&R on the side, and you got some collaborations that you're working on. Tell us about what's going on with this Post Malone thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm hooked up with Bentley Records, the record company. It's more like an independent company, but the CEO guy's name's Luco Diaz. He's pretty savvy young guy out of California, but he has contacts with a lot of the major labels and contacts with the major artists. So I'm working on right now a collab with Post Malone, and also I'll do one with Pharrell Williams, I believe. So they're two known artists that I'll collaborate with on some of their
That's
tunes.
exciting. That's big news.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That helps me get my brand out there. So that's good. And I enjoy working with Bentley. He's an honest, decent, straight up guy. The music business can be a little shady at times, but you have to be careful who you deal with. But I enjoy working with him.
Absolutely. You're right about that. And and we have to just be careful in life. We live in an age, we have artificial intelligence. Even
Oh
when
my! Did
someone's
you see the
calling
story
you on
today
the
about the
phone.
kid killing himself by listening to AI? This came off on the wire. As a young kid,
Wow.
one young guy, and he was talking to AI all the time, and he was depressed, and AI encouraged him, "Yeah, go right ahead, do it." And he, so you have to be careful. Yeah, we live in a very precarious world with AI, and it's good. A lot of good we can get from it. I mean, technology is not going to
Right.
go away, and there's so much good that
Mhm.
can come from it. But there's a dark side as well. Like everything else, there's a good side and a dark side. So
Yes. So, we have to learn how to use the good judgments and good sources. And eventually some controls will probably be set in place as we
yeah,
learn what we need to do,
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
So it's just part of our evolution.
yeah, yeah. We're learning. This is a new age. Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
brand new age. Yeah.
It's very interesting. So, and we encourage folks, learn and stay, we got to stay relevant, especially as artists when there's things being created a little outside of our control and maybe our approval, but we've got to keep up with what's going on around us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for music, there's a lot of talk about AI music now as well. So that's that's something that we are aware of and look at because there's copyright issues. There's issues about. I know that there was one big popular band that was totally AI, and I think they finally did take it down from the streaming sites. But and of course, you can use it. It's good to use it sometimes to get ideas, to use parts of it to help you create. It can be a creative tool as long as we know it's a tool and doesn't really take over, and we become enslaved to it, which is the danger, I think.
right. Yeah. Now I'm a writer and a pianist first, and then,
Okay.
keyboards next, but it's I'm learning to accept some of these tools as they're just going to be they're here to stay, and we can make use of some of it, but and sometimes enhance what we already do. So
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I don't think it'll ever
good to be
replace the
be
musician
open
totally.
minded.
Yeah.
No,
You have
no,
to be
no,
open-minded. Yeah.
because you know what a machine can't do. It can't feel
No. This is a ghost of the
something that's.
machine, but it doesn't really have a soul.
Mhm.
It has bits and pieces of what people give it. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the beautiful part of what you're doing through your writing and what other artists are doing, because that they can't replicate that
No,
authentically.
no. Have to
So
keep it real, right?
Southbound, hammer down, I'm out of here. Destination, I don't care. Would you like to join me as I disappear? We could end up anywhere. All the way to Florida, all the way to Mexico, over to Jamaica, man, anywhere you wanna go. Play a little traveling music, ain't gonna turn around. Watch me while the things spray, getting out of Burbank. Downtown Birmingham, it's 3 a.m.
so what are your you've got a lot of stuff in the works. You're doing a lot of things. Um and you've done a lot of things. So
Hmm.
question for you, what advice do you have? Because a lot of times we have young artists that watch this show, people that are maybe wanting to venture out, try something they've never done,
Right.
explore a little bit. And I encourage people to we love to travel and love people to get out and see places. There's lots of things to see in this world.
Oh, for
So
sure.
what?
Travel is an education. People need to get out
Mhm.
and see the world and have other experiences. Because you learn, it's the best education you can get by going to other places and studying other cultures. And as long as you're safe over there, wherever you go. But yeah, it's an education, and you'll never get that education in the classroom. You have to, because
Mhm.
it's hands on. You have to meet people, you have to talk to different people have different ideas, philosophies, and you grow by doing that. So yeah, and if you're an artist, that's even more so. I mean, I paint a little bit too, and it's so much art, and you influence so much by the culture when you go to places like Paris and London and stuff like that, because they have centuries of history and centuries of art. And I mean, fantastic, great masterpieces can be found. I mean, here too in the United States as well, we have museums, but it's more available in
Mhm.
Europe than here, probably.
Get to the details of the gumbo and see who was in the kitchen. So if you take a look at this Bob Jeter album, you'll pull up some names and you go, not all of these people are globally recognized. So what? Find out. It matters.
Now, the name of this show is called Mental Margarita for a reason. It's about people finding their passion, their escape, what helps them find center. Could be something recreational, or it could be something relaxing, or just
Right.
something that speaks to you. So, what is your mental margarita, Bob, that kind of gets you back to center, or just your getaway from it all?
Well, I mean, music plays a spiritual. I tend to be spiritual. As you get older, you get more spiritual. So I tend to be more religious, more God-fearing or whatever it is. But you realize that there's more out there that you don't see that's actually more real than what you see, if you know what I mean. So, so that idea that something bigger than you, a divine, a God, whatever you want to call it, and that you're just a part of that cosmos, that all-encompassing spiritual divine force. Yeah, that's where your center is in the cosmos.
And that's well stated. That's everybody's got their own concept of perspective.
Right.
And
Yeah, sure. But you have to find it wherever it works for you. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
But you have to have some kind of spiritual connection, however you get it. Yeah, to help you make it through the day. Right?
That's absolutely right. And if people want to stay in touch with you, follow what you're doing, hear your music, watch your podcast, what's the best way for people to follow you and reach out?
Well, I'm on all the streaming sites. You can check out my podcast, Bob's Blues in the News. It's on Apple. It's on all the sites out there. I distribute it well, and the same with the music. You can go to listen, look up Bob Jeter or Jeter and the Jets. Sometimes I have on social media as Bob Jeter and Company. I have several brands. I for some reason, I probably shouldn't do that. People say you should keep just one brand, one image, one name, and go with that. I'm all over the place, but that's the way I think. So there you go. But you can find me easily. You can just Google me. I'm sure I'll come up somewhere.
All right.
And I have
wonderful.
a website. And I have a website as well, BobJeter.com.
Okay, we'll make sure the audience is able to access that and get a hold of you, track what you're doing, and tune in.
Yeah, sure.
And,
I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I'm always looking for collaborators, partners, fans, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being on here on Mental Margarita. I'm getting a little thirsty. Maybe I'll have some margarita after I talk.
It's
But
that
yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's that time. Yeah, cocktail time.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your day. We enjoyed having you on the show, Bob Jeter and Company and Jets and whatever else that he aligns himself with. You look for Bob Jeter, and we'll keep in touch for some updates. The new
Yeah,
song coming out.
definitely. I'm working on new stuff all the time. So
Wonderful.
thanks so much for the time.
You're welcome. We'll see you soon.
Okay, ciao. Bye-bye.
I wanna live with a cinnamon girl. I could be happy the rest of my life with my cinnamon girl. Dreaming of pictures running the night. See us together watching the moonlight, my cinnamon girl. Saxes a bass with a blow. Drummer relaxes and way between shows. Oh, the cinnamon girl. Dreaming of dangers when on in the night. See us together chasing the moonlight, my cinnamon girl. Sunny morning now, you know I need it somehow. I need another dance to see a baby love.